congratulations on how far you made it in Survivor. I know, of course, you wanted to make it farther, but I want to start by talking with you about the scrambling pre-tribal council that we saw. We saw, of course, a lot of it at the camps before tribal, but I wonder what we didn't see from those discussions.
Well, first of all, at one point we were like ready to go to tribal. They're like gag order, whatever. And then they were like, nope, wait a minute. And they like pulled a couple more people for interviews and like we were still scrambling. I mean, it was like insanity. Like I've never, and of course you saw at tribal council, there were like 3 different live tribals going on at 3 different times. What you didn't see is I did go over to Ozzy and I said, listen, I did enter. Somebody came to me with your name and I entertained it. And do you want to know why? It's because I was told that you're walking around telling people you don't trust me. And I feel like we've been together for days now and I've been loyal to you. I thought we were like this. Why are you telling people you don't trust me? And he admitted, he goes, you're right. I did say that. And I only said it because I wanted to see if it would get back to me. And I said, well, it got back to you. And I said, so, and then Cirie was right there. And I said, listen, I didn't tell you it was Ozzy because you were sitting with Stephenie. I don't know Stephenie. And I wasn't even 100% sure I was even going to go with that plan, you know? So that's why I didn't bring it up to you. And to be honest with you, it's not in my best interest for you or Ozzy to go. If you or Ozzy go, that's a problem for me. As well as I said, if I go, I think that's a major problem for you. So I'm willing to go back to our original plan. Let's agree to disagree or shake hands or whatever we have to do. You have my word. You've had my word this whole time. Let's go back to Aubrey and Devins. And so we agreed to do that, but they didn't show any of that on camera. And that's why Devins was so nervous and throwing it all on the line at tribal because he knew it had flipped back to him. And that's why he gave his spiel and his plea and all that. I didn't turn it on Jonathan because what good would that have done me? I would have looked like a tattletale. I would have looked like, oh, I'm just trying to throw somebody else under the bus. So, you know, he's flipping it on me and Jonathan. Let me just flip it back on him. That seemed to be the most logical thing to do. And partly what I was saying was true. Like, yes, it was Jonathan's plan. It was not their plan, but they were in on the plan. They were entertaining the plan. So it was half true.
Yeah, and I mean, throwing Jonathan's name out would have been like just throwing your number one ally at that point under the bus. So,
and that's not who I am. Like, honestly, I'm a really loyal person. I give you my word in this game and I mean it. You know, if it comes down to like, now we're picking the final 3, maybe then it's going to change. But let's get to that point. And I am super loyal. So yeah. It's just who I am. And everybody that's ever seen me play any reality show knows that. Guatemala, even though I cut a lot of throats, I was loyal to Rafe. He was my main ally, and we went all the way to the end. I had no major alliances with anybody else. Yes, I've given them my word here and there, but I was loyal to my main. And I'm loyal to you if I give you my word, like from the beginning.
Yeah, and speaking of loyal alliances, how aware of the closeness of Cirie and Ozzy's alliance were you during filming?
I was very aware that they were close. I was not aware how close she was with Rizzo. As I'm watching, I'm learning, oh my gosh, like Cirie and I were supposed to be together from the beginning. We spoke before the game. We have a long history of playing reality TV shows together. She's always told me I'm like family to her, and I've always felt the same about her. And I know she's very good at this game, and I know if she gets to the end, she's probably winning, but we both decided to agree, like, let's just get there. We're both big threats in this game. Let's just work together. We've known each other for many years. Let's just get there. Then we'll figure it out. I didn't realize so early on she was going to turn on me basically by trying to take out every single person in my alliance, because that's really what she did.
Yeah, and I understand Colby's game with Savannah earlier in the season, when he threw out that red herring about like, oh, don't trust Cirie, got back to Cirie and made her question if she could trust the old era players.
Which I totally understand. Like, why would Colby do that? And Colby was trying to throw like off the scent that he and Cirie were aligned, because they were. Like, there was like a little old school alliance that we did speak, a lot of us beforehand, but it didn't mean we were going to close the doors to meeting new people. But we did talk about, you know, having each other's backs and whatever. So when Colby did that, Cirie immediately was like, He's supposed to be a huge part of my alliance. He's in with Stephenie. Immediately, she washes her hands of us. I could see her washing her hands of him. I'm not even on the same beach with you yet. We haven't even spoken words yet. Don't dismiss me. Dismiss him if you need to, but don't dismiss me. And I think she dismissed me because I was associated with him, even way back then.
Perhaps, yeah. I think also this episode was a turning point in her dynamic with you because we saw that moment, the confessional where she was like, she could tell, or at least she thought that you were lying.
Yeah.
So watching that confessional last night in the episode, how did that, what was your reaction?
Yeah, that was super upsetting too, because in my mind, it's not me versus Cirie. You know what I mean? It was never going to be me versus Cirie. Not this early. The turning point started long before that, when she took out Coach and Chrissy. The turning point had been happening. Like she could have tried to take out Emily. She didn't even need, yes, Colby's foot. Yes, he was hurt, but they were not medically evacuating him. She could have went her, Coach Colby, and they could have taken out Emily. It didn't matter. He had immunity. She chose to take out Colby. She gave me a whole spiel. They wanted to take out Coach, but Colby's hurt anyway. So instead of two of our people leaving, I just went with the safer bet and took out Colby. Okay. Valid point. Then she takes out Coach and Chrissy. Comes to me again. The plan changed. Now it's Coach and Chrissy. It's not me. I'm just letting you know. I just want to make sure that you're in the know and you're in the numbers. Don't be out of the numbers. You'll be next to go, or I'll be next to go. We're big targets. So the way she's posing things to me, it's never her that does it. It's somebody else. She's just letting me know because we're in an alliance. Smart. Meanwhile, Joe knows it was her. She told Joe. Joe does not come and tell Jonathan and I. Had he done that, I would have known back then, Cirie's not with us. At this point, I still think Cirie's with us. She was not. Then, fast forward to this episode, she literally says, it's a me versus Stephenie. It's still not a me versus Cirie, in my mind. Yes, Ozzy's name came up because he's telling people he doesn't trust me. Of course I'm going to entertain that. Why would I not? You're telling people you don't trust me. But we spoke about it and we agreed to go back to the original plan. And I said, it is not in my best interest. If I get rid of you, they are probably going to come for me next. Vice versa. You get rid of me, they are probably going to try to come for you next. Why would you do that? Let's take out the middle people. That's what we kept saying.
I know it's like the interpersonal dynamics are like, can feel very stressful and everything and personal, but everything you're explaining is just like, this is why Survivor is such interesting TV, you know?
It is. It really is. And at the end of the day, like, I do not fault Cirie at all. She's there. She's playing a game and she's trying to get by too. She's trying to get to the end too. Her mistake is I'm probably going to be her biggest ally, or probably one of the very few people she may be able to manipulate. So by getting rid of me, that's really not a smart choice, because I'm going to rally for Cirie. But Cirie takes it like I'm going to try to take her out because now I'm trying to take Ozzy out. We just needed to communicate better. Had we communicated better, and Joe too, things may have worked out much differently.
That's a social experiment part of it, I feel like, you know?
It is.
Like, had you communicated, things would have been different, but there are other things that happened that made people doubt, right? So,
and it's unfortunate because like things can change on a dime out there. Like my name had not been thrown out.
Yeah.
Like the entire season, my name was not even mentioned. How do I go home? It's like unbelievable, right? That's Survivor.
So, heading into Tribal Council, did you feel like you were in real trouble? I know that you had heard, of course, that your name was thrown out there, so you weren't like completely blindsided maybe, but
I was very nervous at camp when Jonathan told me, now it's on you. I'm like, what? How'd this get flipped on me? But then so many talks happened that you didn't see. You saw me talking a little to Cirie, but there was so much more to that. And between Cirie and Ozzy and Joe was there and Jonathan, and we all came together and we were like, it's Devins. So that's why Devins at Tribal Council had to throw me and Jonathan under the bus, had to make his spiel because he knew it got flipped back to him.
And what did you think of Devins' spiel when he said all of that? Did you think you were sunk? What happened?
I was like, this is fantastic. Damn, he's good at, he is great. He is really good at this. Yeah. But I'm like, I'm not going to throw Jonathan under the bus. Let me try to flip this back. So I did the best I could, trying to flip it back. There's a lot you didn't see there. Tiffany says, oh, well, why would you tell her about your seal vote if that's who you're trying to get out? I fully explained to Tiffany, oh, I told her about my seal vote the day I got it, Tiffany. And I'm not trying to get her out today. Her name came up. but she's not the person I'm trying to get out. I would never throw her name out there. I would never be that stupid. And then Rizzo tries to call me out and says, don't say that, blah, blah, blah. No, Rizzo, I am telling the truth. I would never lead a charge. I'm not that person. You could come to me with your charge and I'll hear you out and we'll see if we can get the numbers and I'll see if that's going to be the best decision for my game. But at this point, with 10 people left, I'm not leading any charge. And that was the truth.
To talk about Rizzo really quick, how did you feel about what he was saying in the moment? And I wonder if he kind of changed your perception of the new era players just by playing with him in general in the season.
Oh yeah. Like the new era way of play it's totally different. It's literally just strategy. That's it. It's no survival. It's nothing. It's just sit around and strategy. It's not even so much try to compete and win immunity. It's just strategy. So it's just different because there is 50,000 idols. So like you even saw when we were talking about the plan, I think Jonathan said it was going to be Tiffany to somebody. And they're like, wait, Tiffany. And he's like, no, I mean Stephenie. Like, because he was trying to agree with them with what their plan was to make them think he was with them. Like there is 5 plans and then there's the real plan at any given time because this one has an idol, this one has an idol, this one might have an idol. We got to split the vote. And then there's the plan. Like it is so ridiculous. And then there's the shot in the dark. So the new era way of play is just like strategy. It's not really numbers. It's not alliances. It's not who works harder on camp. It's just strategy.
Yeah, I think it was smart for you to ask to try and like see what the idol looked like, but also he's within his right too to say like I'm not going to show you. So it's just two smart players going back head to head. But with the Mr. Beast twist specifically, what did you think about like the setup of the twist? Would you volunteer voting to choose who did the coin toss?
Yeah. So we went into it and it was definitely going to be Devin. So I kind of felt safe. But I did go over and I did speak to Jonathan and Cirie, and I was like, I kind of want to do the coin toss too. And they both said I didn't need to do it. And I was like, I don't know. And then it would have been like a wrestling match. Like Devin's was not giving that up. So I was like, if I really push this, we may go to rocks and I'm going to piss everybody off. So I'm like, do I do this? Do I not? I still have a steal a vote. Let's see what happens. It's a 50-50 chance. It's a big risk. Like there's a 50% chance you can just go home right then and there. So I'm like, you know what? He can have it. But I did consider it.
And yeah, would you have preferred to be voted out or you control your fate like with the coin toss?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I would take my chances because of being voted out because at this point, they're still telling me if Devins is safe, we'll go Aubrey. And Aubrey had been a target for so many weeks. Right. So I'm hopeful.
What would you do in hindsight?
Play my shot in the dark. I should have, but I don't know if I was allowed to is the problem. The problem is I didn't think I was allowed to do both, my shot in the dark and steal a vote. So I probably should have cleared that with the producers.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Well, Stephenie.
But the shot in the dark too. Like it's a 1 in 6 chance. It's only hit once ever. I mean, that would have been friggin' awesome if I played that and it hit. I would have been like, yeah, screw all ya.